high school bully who laughed at my car until I bought his dad's business. So, in high school I wasn't exactly cool. I wore the same sneakers for 3 years, ate ramen for dinner, and drove this beat-up Toyota that coughed every time it started. You could hear me pulling into the parking lot from a mile away. Meanwhile, there was Brad, the golden boy, Letterman jacket, perfect hair, and a brand new BMW from Daddy Dearest. Brad was rich, loud, and allergic to humility. He'd park next to me on purpose, rev his engine and say, "Hey, nice car. Does it come with a Flintstones upgrade?" His friends laughed like hyenas in designer hoodies. One time, he even taped a free scrap metal sign to my Toyota. The whole school saw it. I laughed it off. But inside, I was plotting vengeance like a caffeine-fueled Batman. It got worse. He tripped me in the cafeteria once. My whole tray went flying, mac and cheese, milk, the entire economy of my lunch, right onto his $300 sneakers. He screamed, "You're paying for that." I said, "With what?" "My emotional damage points. Detention. Every time." Meanwhile, Brad was throwing parties in his parents' mansion with a pool shaped like a dollar sign. After high school, Brad went off to a fancy college business major, of course. I couldn't afford that. So I worked 2 jobs, ramen every night, still driving that same dying Toyota. But I learned everything about small businesses, marketing, logistics, accounting. I grinded. 5 years later, I had my own small repair shop, and it was actually doing pretty well. One day, a BMW pulls up to my shop. Same smug model Brad used to drive. Out steps Brad, except older, balder, and way less confident. He goes, "Hey, you do transmission repairs?" I almost laughed right there. His BMW was his dad's old car. Apparently, Daddy's business wasn't doing so hot. I fixed his car, professionally, of course, but when he came to pay, his card declined. He stammered, "Must be an issue with the bank." I smiled and said, "No worries. Happens to the best of us." Then, just for fun, I offered him a job as a part-time assistant. He laughed. I said, "Suit yourself. But if your dad's company ever goes under, hit me up." He left, embarrassed. 6 months later, guess who called? Brad. Sounded desperate. His dad's company had gone bankrupt, and he needed work. So I hired him, put him on oil change duty. The guy who once mocked my Toyota, now changing the oil on it. Every time he handed me the keys, I'd say, "Careful, Brad. That's premium scrap metal you're touching." He hated every second. He'd show up in wrinkled clothes, no BMW, driving a dented Kia that sounded suspiciously like karma. The same kids who once worshipped him now came to my shop for work. Brad was invisible. And me? I expanded. Guess which bankrupt company's assets I bought for cheap? Yep, his dad's. Now, every morning, I park my beat-up Toyota right outside the office, just because I can. Brad still works there, pushing papers. Sometimes he asks if I ever plan to sell the Toyota. I tell him, "Nah, that car built my empire." Then I rev it just enough for him to flinch, because nothing sounds sweeter than revenge at 3,000 RPMs.